after the All-Star break, we had some unfortunate news that Victor Wembanyama from the San Antonio Spurs will be out for the remainder of the season with a shoulder blood clot or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, guys. It is very unfortunate news. Obviously, they just got De'Aaron Fox a few weeks ago before the trade deadline, and it seemed like they were kind of starting to gel together, maybe make a run for the playoffs or the play-in. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're the 11th seed, if I'm not mistaken. But, guys, very unfortunate news, but will the future look better this way? Hear me out. Hear me out, guys. If we all remember when the Spurs got Tim Duncan, the reason they had that pick is because David Robinson was hurt the year before. That's the reason the Spurs got Tim Duncan, is because David Robinson was hurt the year before, and then they went to go on to be a very good duo, obviously, and then the Spurs got their superstar of the future in Tim Duncan because of that, right? Guys, I know it's unfortunate that Victor Wembanyama is out, but is the rebuild starting to really rebuild, right? We've seen Stephon Castle having a very good rookie season. He might be leading the Rookie of the Year vote as of now. Guys, they got De'Aaron Fox 2 weeks ago before the trade deadline. They got Victor Wembanyama, obviously, who's an alien, can do whatever he wants on the basketball court. Guys, if they decide to tank this year if they decide, you know what, the play-in is not really worth it, Victor's out. If they decide to tank, right, and they get a top 10, top 8 pick, can we see a VJ Edgecombe be paired up with Victor Wembanyama? Can we see a Trey Johnson from Texas, although he's a point guard, so it kind of really wouldn't make sense? Can we see maybe the Spurs getting the number 1 pick and getting very, very lucky and getting Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper? Can we see that, right? Because as of now, the Spurs have the number 10th pick in this draft, and like my Bulls got very lucky when they got Derrick Rose. I think they had a 1% chance to be the number 1 pick, and that they got. So anything is up in the air right now. The Hawks have no protection over their pick, so it is the Spurs pick also, and the Hawks pick right now is number 11. So as of now, the Spurs have a back-to-back pick, which the 10th and the 11th pick. But guys, I think not only do I think this is good for the Spurs, right? Because we've seen what Victor Wembanyama can do, right? It's unfortunate that he's hurt. Were they going to make the play-in? Maybe. Were they going to make a deep run in the playoffs? Not this year. I don't think so. Next year, though, and the next 2 to 3 years, I think this team could be very good. We've seen De'Aaron Fox get paired up with Wemby, and that already looks good. If they go through a whole offseason, and then start the regular season together, I think this could be one of the better duos in the league. And it seems like De'Aaron Fox wants to stay in San Antonio. He basically forced his way to San Antonio to be paired up with Victor Wembanyama, so it seems like he's going to sign a contract extension. I don't know if that's next year or in 2 years. They got Stephon Castle, who we talked about earlier, having a very good rookie year. I really like Stephon Castle, man. He's athletic. He could play defense. If he could shore up that 3-ball, man, he's going to be a very good player, very, very good player in this league. And I still think he's going to be a good player, obviously. But he can do all of it, man. He can get to the basket. He can defend. Like I said, if he gets the 3-ball going a little bit more, if he could shoot around 35, 40% or league average, I think this is in the making of a very good basketball player. Now, you pair all that, and if you get a top 5 pick this year, the Spurs can look very good. I think the Spurs could make a deep playoff run, not this year, but maybe next year or in the 2 years, like I said. So it becomes very interesting, because do you want to make a playoff push with Victor Wembanyama, or do you just want to say, hey, you know what? We've seen what we have with Stephon Castle. We've seen what we have with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. Do we say, hey, we're good. We know what we have. Let's tank for the season, because you're not going to be a terrible team next year. You're not going to be. You're going to be a top 5, top 6 team in the West. I believe so. If you stop and say, hey, we're good. We know what we have. We're gonna park the bus right here. We're gonna start tanking. We're gonna start losing some games to maybe get a top 5 pick. I don't think that's the worst idea. I don't think that's the worst idea for the Spurs. Because do you even make a playoff run? Do you even win a playoff series this year? With Victor Wembanyama, I don't think so. With Victor Wembanyama, probably, maybe, yes. Without Victor, I don't think you make a deep playoff run. I don't think you win a playoff series. So is it really worth trying to go into the play-in than having to play the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed? I don't think it's really worth it. I think you say, you know what? We got Victor. We got De'Aaron Fox. We got a promising rookie in Stephon Castle. We got Devin Vassell. We got Jeremy Shohan. We got Keldon Johnson. We are good. Let's pack it up. Start preparing for next year. Guys, I think the Spurs are in a very good spot. I think they're probably, I wouldn't say in the OKC range, because OKC still has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and then 17 first-round picks from now to 2031. But I think they're behind the OKC. I think they're behind the Thunder. I think having someone like Victor Wembanyama, right? And then you get another top 10, top 5 pick in this year's draft to pair with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. Guys, I think the Spurs are in a very good spot. I think the Spurs should start to tank. Guys, it is very promising for the San Antonio Spurs. You guys let me know what you think. If you guys think the Spurs should make a playoff push or a play-in push, should they tank like I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just think that they know what they have. They got Victor Wembanyama. They know next season we're going to come back and we're going to be ready to play ball. We're going to see Stephon Castle in his second year. Next year, guys, I think the Spurs say, we're going to tank. Go get a top 10 pick. If the Hawks lose more games, what if they can, not only have very good picks for not their pick and the Hawks pick, but what if they say, you know what, we want another superstar. Here, have these picks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the best idea. I think they just stay put, keep the picks that they have, draft someone in the top 10. Guys, the San Antonio Spurs. If you are a San Antonio Spurs fan, I am very happy for you. Not only do you have Victor Wembanyama, but you have a promising superstar in De'Aaron Fox. You have a promising rookie in Stephon Castle. Guys, the San Antonio Spurs will win a championship in the next 5 to 6 years, and I want you to book that under Berto Knows Ball. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Should they tank? Should they try making a play-in push? What should they do, guys? You guys let me know in the comments down below. But it's been your boy. Peace.